You
then
mean all that? You mean all that fun and madness wasn't recorded? Come on now. Look what the
well,
people are going to miss.
We save it special for our attendees.
Only the live people get to see me
I know,
blather on.
yeah. That was special, I will say.
Blather on, yeah, special. Anyways, yeah. Well, because well, I want to mention it again. I do want to mention the Heard It Here first because of the book 2024. And you did talk about that last week. So now
Yeah,
that's recorded for anybody that's watching on YouTube later so that they
right.
know that Tom will bring you the latest things. As
Exactly.
as do they all. But that particular book, I was like seeing that guy. I was seeing one of them in particular, and I can't remember which one it was that I kept seeing all over the place. But
So yeah, yeah. I feel like I saw Josh Dawsey most of all, but
yeah, I think that's who it was too. All
and I
right.
heard, well, just on that,
Right.
since I might just start talking about just about anything since it's just us. But I am always curious when you have three authors, how does that work? And these were three authors who were ended up being at different newspapers, but I heard Josh Dawsey talk about the process. One of them was with Trump, one of them was with Biden, and then the other one was kind of the best stylist, like he and the fastest writer. So he probably was with one of them too, but he also kind of wrote the thing for the
Okay.
three of them. You know, they all had input. Plus, did you hear this?
Mm.
Josh Dawsey's mom, I don't know where he's from. He's from somewhere in the South, but his mom is an expert uh, editor. And so she was the first editor, like copy editor of the book. Like that's where they would send it first before it would go to the publisher. And
I kind of moms are the best. Come
isn't
on
that
now.
great? And
I'm
then
just
the other writers were like, "Could you send my stuff to your mom too first?"
I kind of love that a lot.
And his mom said at one point, "Does there have to be so much? The language is pretty coarse. Does it have there have to be so many, four-letter words? Can't we tone it down a little bit?"
Like that's how they were talking.
Exactly.
Yeah. I love that so much.
I know. It's just
Moms
like
are the
kind of the personal side to these reporters. You don't hear that usually.
right. Well, and also, I mean, I'm always curious. Like, I don't read that many books, and this is different. This to me is different when you have multiple authors on something like
Right.
this. When multiple authors write fiction, that always is like,
Oh
and
yeah.
that to me is like, I don't know.
I know. I am suspicious of that too.
I don't know. I don't know. And in fairness to that, I haven't read them, so I can't comment on the fact of. But I'm just a little leery
Yeah.
on if it flows. But anyways, that's just the skeptic in me. But I imagine that it's for those that do it, it's a fun thing to do because just writing a book by yourself has to be so
Now
solitary.
you're not talking there is a history of books that are like I don't do them very often, but once in a while there have been books where like an author will write the first chapter, they'll hand it off to the second, third, like there's mold like
That's different. That's I think different.
that's
I'm talking about more like authors that just like either two totally different authors or authors that
yeah,
actually are,
yeah,
a writing team.
right.
I don't know. If any of you are writing teams out there and I've insulted you, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you in
But it
any
is
way.
hard for those of us non-writers, just readers and lovers of
Yeah,
books. It's hard to figure that out.
to figure it out. And yeah, it's just got to be really, really difficult. All right. Well, Tom,
Should I talk about a book?
you can talk about whatever you want.
Okay. So Julie and I have been talking about this book. And so this is a preview since they're excellent. So we'll talk about it together.
There we go.
So All the Way to the River by Liz Gilbert coming September 9th. September 9th. So soon. Hard to believe
Right.
September
Sooner
9th.
than we think.
I know it's not that far ahead, really. It's her first nonfiction book in more than a decade. So the last one I think was Big Magic, which was her book about mostly they're all personal, but also creative. That was a book about creativity. Um, This is really, I think, the true sequel to Eat, Pray, Love. So this is a memoir of her relationship with her partner, Rhea, who she met in 2000, and they, over the course of many years, fell in love. She was an artist, hairdresser, in the end, Liz Gilbert's best friend and then lover. Um, so it's about their relationship, two completely different people. Liz Gilbert talks about herself as a people pleaser, and Rhea is anything but that. Um, and then it's about their what they go through when Rhea is diagnosed with a deadly illness. They're both addicts, so but they're unacknowledged addicts, really. Um, so there is so much going on in this book. There's the yeah, her growing to her showing telling us how they fell in love. But it was never an easy relationship despite that, the intensity love they felt for each other. So the book is turbulent and there's no more, and especially in this book, I thought no more honest writer than Liz
Oh,
Gilbert. She is not
1000%.
sugarcoating anything here about herself or her partner or, her past or her future. I mean, she's just laying it all out there, and that's what I admire about her. Um, so the book is incredible. Kirkus, I was looking for, it's so early, there aren't too many reviews, but Kirkus did just review it. They called it, I have to agree, charming and harrowing.
Mm.
Liz Gilbert can't help but be charming, but this particular ride is harrowing because of the addiction piece. Um, so when Liz talked about this book when we first announced it, she said, "Readers of my earlier work may remember that I reached nearly this same level of peace and tranquility back when I was in India, in the middle of my Eat, Pray, Love travels, after months of disciplined prayer, meditation, and retreat. The difference this time is that in the end, she now has the support to not, as she puts it, drive my life off a cliff all over again. So this is the story of driving off the cliff. Um, and so Liz will be, so there's also no more committed author once she publishes a book at the time she publishes a book. So she will be everywhere. She will be on every podcast, all over the media. And I think it's an important story to hear now. And despite the harrowing nature of it, it's still hopeful. I mean, I think it
Oh yeah.
ends in a hopeful place. And you just hope that this time, like she says, she has the support to pull it off this time because you'd hate to see her go through another, spiral. So this is coming September, All the Way to the River, Love, Loss, and Liberation. Pre-order now.
Pre-order, and also, so for everybody that's in San Diego
Yes, that's right.
specifically, and San Diego fans and anywhere around our area, people have known to drive lots of miles to come. We're actually hosting in partnership. Well, we're not hosting, but Balboa Theater is hosting, but we're in partnership with them for an event on October 23rd at the Balboa Theater. So if you have any inclination to go to the event, there are tickets that include a book. So we'd love for you to do that. You might have to wait a little bit to read it then because you'll pick up the book that night.
Right.
But there'll also be some books available or some tickets available that don't include a book. But you could pre-order from Warwick's if you wanted to on that. But I am highly recommending supporting and because Liz, as far as her commitment to the book and telling the story and how, which is nobody's better live either.
I was going to say that too, yeah.
Once
you've seen her, you want to see her again
and
because
she just makes you feel like you're getting to know her, but you leave with always this feeling of, to your point, hope. It's just like,
yeah.
like we all are going through stuff, we all have stuff, but nobody does it better than her. So, that's my little plug for the event. If you don't live in San Diego, find her wherever you're at.
Yeah, because of her commitment to supporting her work and her publisher, she is going a lot all over the country.
Yeah.
In various different kinds of venues, and
Right.
This will be one of the biggest books of the fall, hands
For
down.
sure. For sure. And I mean, and so we're a little bit later in the tour, so you can probably
Right.
see her earlier, in some other places. But be patient and come see us in San Diego.
Yeah. You'll thank us later.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, we've hosted her now, oh gosh, handful of times. Maybe not quite a handful. Four, maybe 3, 4 times. I just adore her. Everything about her.
I do
So
too. And she came to our sales conference. I'm sure I told you this, Julie.
yeah.
They separated us into 4 groups this time for some reason. So our Penguin sales force was divided into fours, and she surprised each group. Like, so she would surprise one quarter of us, and then she would go hide in the Riverhead offices, come back to the second group, surprise them. So that just shows you the level of her commitment. And then it was kind of nice, but also like it really brought home how long I've been doing this. I'm the only rep who has sold all of her books at Penguin and Riverhead. She was first Viking and then Riverhead. So I go back a long way with.
You go back year old like what I was just thinking. We did actually host her for Eat, Pray, Love. So we've hosted her probably 4 or 5 times that
Yeah.
or more. Because we had a wonderful dinner or lunch with you
Oh, that's
up
right. We
in
did.
LA for
Yeah.
Signature of All Things,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. And that's I love her novels also.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Liz Gilbert coming. That's a preview of the fall.
Yep. And the cover is really good. It's a really good
Yeah.
cover. It's a really good cover. All right.
Oh,
Amanda, go ahead.
wait, one more thing, just to explain the title. They called each other their all the way to the river friend. That's the kind of friendship they had.
I love it. Love that. Okay, Amanda, you got anything or you want me to pass along? You got something? Good.
Talk about some stuff. I can't remember if I talked about this one, and I don't have any physical books on my person presently, but I can try to share my screen. Let's see.
Oh, wait, before you start, Beth's in the
Mhm.
room where she read Maud
Oh,
Ventura's Make Me Famous. Will you ever look at a peep the same way, Beth? I love that book. But
oh,
Maud Ventura, she wrote, what was my other one? My Husband was my other favorite of hers. So I love it. I was taking pictures of peeps all over when I read that book at Easter time because like a couple of our booksellers, and I was sending them to our booksellers. They were killing me. Gotta read the book to understand what we're talking about. Okay, sorry, Amanda, but that was too fun to not
yeah,
comment on.
great list. Um, okay, here we go. Let's see if I can share. You see what I'm seeing?
Yep.
Yeah, so this came out in March, and let's see. Are you still only seeing that window?
Yep.
Sorry. So Oh Sinners by Nicole Cuffey. And I don't know if it got a lot of attention, but I think it's just fantastic. It's a novel, and a young journalist's father passes away, and sort of because of his father's death, but also out of curiosity, he ends up embedding himself at a cult in the California redwood forest, where they have this charismatic leader, um, and the leader is a Vietnam War veteran. And so the way the book is structured is we have these different chapters from this cult leader and our young journalist, and also there is a screenplay of a documentary about the cult leader that is also interspersed in the story, and it's so well done and a little bit of a mystery. Emma Donoghue said in the Boston Globe, it's a gorgeously written literary excavation of belonging and belief. And um, it's it is a war book, so it's pretty stressful in that way. And I don't generally read war fiction, but this was very beautifully done, and I think it's a book that deserves more attention. Again, Oh Sinners, it came out in March and highly recommend.
I love it. And I love, I mean, it was an April Indie Next pick, so it definitely had some a bookseller love.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that book when it was published, but it didn't get in as much attention as I thought it should and would. I think
And Lori, oh, sorry, go ahead.
that's
Sorry.
from the Random House side, maybe, I think. One World, One World.
Yes. Yes, correct. What is that imprint about?
One World.
Uh-huh.
That is what's his name? Chris Jackson. He's the mind behind it. And so it's carefully I think of it a little bit like Riverhead, carefully curated, but really looking at I think primarily book writers of color.
Mhm.
Um, but like the top of the top, the best books. And he's a force. He's like a publishing force. So I trust whenever I see One World, I trust the books. I'm trying to think of who else. Big names though. I'll come up with some
Yeah.
names.
I think is that because is that a Wade or a
It's a Wade.
it's a Wade, yeah. It's a
Yeah,
Wade doesn't come on here very often, so we don't
right.
Yeah,
get
the
It's like I think you know. Wait, all the names are going out of my head. Go ahead. I'll come up with some names though that One World publishes.
it gave me a feeling of a little bit of the same feeling I felt when I read Martyr. The
Mm,
main character he was raised in the Muslim faith, and so it's the way it explores belief and how we construct meaning after great losses and just in general to cope with life. It's a lovely book. I'm curious to see if it does better in paperback. Although
Right.
maybe I'll have a
I would
second one.
definitely keep the same art because the art is so good.
It is a really good cover. And
I would
Lori,
keep
I
up.
don't know if you intentionally sent your book to just the panelists and the hosts, but if you want, I'll tell people what you're reading. But she read Culpability, which I loved. I hope you loved it as much as I did, because I definitely think it's one of the books of the summer. So hopefully you loved it.
Well,
Like I said, I'm reading things that are like way too far out. I just read a book, although it's called oh my God, Family of Spies, but it's not
Mm.
coming out until December.
I
I
love
don't,
it. I
I
love it
have
from
it,
the
but I couldn't
title
wait.
already. So
Yeah. Um, okay. So sorry, I have it, but I put it in my car because I have to take it to Nancy Warwick because she wants to read it. In short, this woman gets a letter. This screenwriter finds her and says, basically, is your grandfather Otto so and so, who was a Nazi spy for the Japanese in Pearl Harbor?
Oh,
And she's like, no, not my grandpa. She's like, she doesn't know any.
what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Oh, thanks, man. I'm putting it in the chat there. So this is her quest and her. I mean, there's family secrets, and then there's family secrets, and this is like crazy, crazy. He was like giving the Japanese all kinds of info about
And
Pearl
it,
Harbor.
so I watched a Zoom with authors who have big books coming up in the fall. And I think I saw this author. Yeah, the book sounded amazing. Weren't there like connections to Nazi, like
Yes,
high up, like
high up.
near Adolf Hitler? I can't remember which ones, but like
You're like not
Himmler
Goebbels,
or
Himmler.
yeah, it was
Yeah. Like
insane.
he almost became the number two underneath. He was up for a job, and I'll give him too much, but he was up for a job. So he actually lent the guy, they were trying to get on a train. This guy didn't have any money. He lent him some money to go. They were both going to the same interview with Himmler. And this other guy ended up getting the job. He was the mastermind behind all the concentration camps.
Oh
This
my
guy that
God.
was under him. I mean, it was like right there.
And then they sent the whatever relation to Hawaii, right? To
Correct. And
get rid.
he was the one that was trying to get the job. And then they're like, well, we've got this other thing for you to do. Send him to Hawaii and put him in touch with the Japanese. And he started spying for the Japanese.
Yeah.
I mean, and this was like her aunt was like almost married. I mean, it goes part of me was like, this can't be real. This can't be real. This can't be real. Okay. I'm just like, come on. Oh, she shows the receipts, man. In the back of the book are photos and documents and all kinds of stuff that
Yeah, imagine the just how do you how do you get up the next morning after finding all this stuff out? That's
oh
crazy.
yeah.
That's
And
great
her
book.
yeah. It is. It's really, and what I appreciate about it too is it's short. So she doesn't do these giant deep dives into stuff.
Right.
She's just like, this is the stuff that happened, you know?
Right. And it was a short interview I saw, but I was riveted. I knew nothing about this book, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh yeah, who wouldn't
Oh yeah.
want to read Family of Spies?
I mean, like I said, it's like usually it's like, oh, I don't know. No, this is like, yeah, this is something else. It was true. I mean, to the point where it didn't end up happening, but it kind of did. The dad would take like the 9-year-old son down to the docks and like be like scam, like trying to say what was going on. Somebody accused him of the kid getting on one of the boats, but that didn't
Oh my
happen. But
God.
but yeah, I mean, he was like right. I mean, boy, the minute by minute stuff, it's like, holy cow. He was right there, giving him all the signs.
Wow.
Crazy. Okay, so that's mine. Like I said, sorry, I told you earlier, there's stuff that's already been published or stuff that's not coming for a long time. But
Yeah. We have previews for sure.
yeah. Okay, Tom, what else you got?
Okay, so my next book is out. It was out last week, I think. The Jailhouse Lawyer, Calvin Duncan and Sophie Cull. So this is the story of Calvin Duncan. Um, Unfortunately, it feels like a familiar story. We've been hearing these stories for so long now about a man who was incarcerated 1981 for murder in New Orleans that he did not commit. Um, he was 19 years old, incompetent defense, all that. But it took him how long? He went into prison as a 19-year-old and emerged as a 48-year-old. So, but part of the way it happened was he went to work in prison to learn the law
Mm,
and to it helped him to help himself get exonerated ultimately, but also to help other prisoners while he was there. So that's why they called him the jailhouse lawyer. So it's an incredible story of triumph over tragedy, and when you hear him interviewed, he's interviewed today there's a great interview today on Fresh Air. That I just started to listen to that, and I heard him interviewed last week. He's so hopeful. Like it's incredible. It just blows my mind when someone can go through what he went through and still emerge like talking about the what's wrong with the system, but still believing that we can correct the system. We can make changes. We can do things. And then when he got out, so he was released finally, and he worked with the Innocence Project in New Orleans. And I think the co-author is from the Innocence Project. Um, when he got out and then he went to law school. So he went to law school at the age of 57, graduated at 60. So this is a man with a story because he served 20 there it is, 28 years, 5 months, 2 days.
oh,
Years. And to emerge still determined to become a lawyer, tell your story, help other people. It's incredible. So we have this great quote on the cover from John Grisham. Duncan's story is so incredible, it strains belief. It is so heartwarming and hopeful that it will stay with you for a long time. So it's hard to call a book like this heartwarming and hopeful, but I think that's what it is in the end. And that's what he would want you to think because it's very readable. It feels like a Grisham, novel, The Jailhouse Lawyer.
sounds really. I was just saying because the whole time you were talking, all I could think of was Grisham. It's like he's got to
Yeah,
be involved. He's got to be involved in this
yeah.
somehow, some way.
Especially in the South, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. And it just seems like there's an overabundance of this problem happening in the South.
Hmm.
Just
I
saying.
mean, it's terrible that I feel like, oh, we've heard this story before, but we've heard stories
Oh,
like this
it's
before.
it's
It's terrible.
it's despicable that it is. you
Yeah.
know. But no, that sounds like a really good book.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds like another page turner. You got anything else for us, Amanda?
Sure. Uh, it's an August release, but yeah, that's like in 2 weeks.
I was
So,
just gonna say that's coming.
oh, first though, Tom, were you going to say something else about the One World authors, maybe?
Oh
Or
yeah. I forgot the biggest one world author, Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Oh,
oh,
So
okay,
you start there and then
and
other,
then that's it.
other
Yeah.
yeah.
listen,
So that kind of gives you an idea of
Yeah,
the
of the
caliber
that
of
caliber, the high caliber publishing they're doing at One World. Yeah.
yeah.
cool. Okay, so here's The Art of a
Oh, this
Lie
looks good.
by Laura Shepard Robinson. You may remember us talking about a book called The Square of Sevens. This is the same author. Nancy Warwick is a big fan of that book. So if you like historical fiction, this is one to look at. Um, so our main character, she's a widow, a recent widow. Her husband was brutally murdered. The time frame is, let me think. Well,
You have your
whatever
eye page
time.
up.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sorry. Um, I was looking for hints. Let me stop sharing because I need that.
I
But
know that's how I am too. I can never
it is
remember what I'm sharing.
it is an excellent cover. If you want
It's a
to
really
share
good
it.
cover.
Um, so I don't know why I thought I had the time frame up, but um one of the characters in this book is Henry Fielding, the author, who was also apparently like a PI, a private investigator
What?
in real life. So
Okay.
he's investigating the death of her husband. And meanwhile, she's being courted, sort of by this guy named William Devereaux, who seems to be something of a catch, but she's also worried about being seen in public with a man because it's so soon, and she's a fresh widow. And meanwhile, she's also trying to run her confectionery shop to stay afloat, to try to support herself with her husband gone, and is trying to learn how to make this thing called iced cream that this William Devereaux guy tells her about. And so it's got these lovely scenes talking about food, but it's also this historical mystery. And if you read Square of Sevens, you know this author is very good at constructing a thriller. And the New York Times calls it a delicious puzzle box of a novel. And Chris Whitaker says it's astonishing. This is Laura Shepard Robinson at the height of her powers. Of course, it's beautifully written and richly detailed, but it's also fiendishly twisting and properly thrilling. And Ruth Ware says it's a twisty confection as subtle and delicious as one of Hannah's iced creams. I loved it. So if you want a really fun historical fiction book, The Art of a Lie comes out on August 5th.
Perfect. Yeah, that
Sounds
looks like
so
it's really
good.
good. What's that, Tom?
Sounds so good. I've
I
never
know.
heard of that.
Yeah, the Square of Sevens was really good. That was fun. It was a really good. That was a really good book.
And we're talking about Henry Fielding, author of Tom Jones, and
Yep.
wow,
Well,
funny.
that kind of was what was it the Alienist
Oh yeah,
that
Caleb Carter.
had Teddy Roosevelt was the
Oh yeah,
yeah. That was a good old book. If you haven't read The Alienist, who was it? Caleb Carr?
Caleb Carr. Yep,
Caleb Carr, yeah. And what was the other one? If Fallen, what was the Angel one?
that was him too, right? Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah.
was good too. Those are all my old books, so I probably could grab it off this old
I
shelf over
know.
here.
Okay,
Because all those ones that are the
old
old ones that stick
favorites.
with me are like on this shelf over here. Um, anyways, yeah, the Alienist was so good. If you haven't, okay, I think I've talked about this on before. If you like the Alienist and you like that atmospheric thing, an instance of the finger post.
I knew you were going to say that.
Oh my God. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I always talk about it.
No, it's great. But
It's so,
I just saw Steve Atinsky, former
oh yeah, we love Steve.
RH rep and Tea
Tea
Time
time.
regular, and he's been happy in retirement, happily reading what he wants to read. And he told me he just read Instance of the Finger Post and loved it.
I love it.
So
It's
it's been
it,
on my mind lately.
Well, and it's one of those I turned on one of our booksellers for it, and she was the same way, had never read it, and so it was just and was just like blown away. So what it's one of the things that I always worry about when I recommend something that's that old. Does it hold up? You know
Right.
what I mean? It's like, does it hold up? And it's like, yeah, it definitely holds up.
I love
So,
how it's just it's this enormous $30 paperback, and
oh yeah,
because it's just so epic, like it can do
Yeah.
that.
what I mean, it is. I mean,
Yeah.
it is a. I was looking over here because, sorry, Ian, your other books weren't so good.
But I know
Because I tried.
that's the one.
That's the one book that was like,
Yeah.
because I was looking over here at some other stuff that I read by him, and it's like, oh no,
I think he did maybe also some series with the detective or something.
maybe I'm not sure about that. I don't know, but
But
I
yeah,
definitely.
this was like a singular achievement that we should all be lucky to have that one
I
singular.
I'm never going to write that. So, but to your point, Amanda, about that type of atmospheric sort of book, if you want something in between, that is it's so a murder takes place, and then the murder is told from four different perspectives. So there's a wealthy count that tells his version. There's a bishop. I read it so long ago, I forgot who the other two were. Uh, but
I've forgotten because I read it when I sold it,
yeah,
which was probably 1999 or
yep.
something like that.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely in the 90s.
Maybe
Definitely.
actually it was earlier. I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely back then. It's so good.
But it's one of those books that I have. I could go to my shelf now and get it. I have kept it for the last 25 years because
Yeah.
I know I'll want to reread it.
I know it's here. I know it's here. It's like because I've got Name of the Rose like right here. That shows you how far back these. That's how you should where these bookshelves are. These are my old bookshelves that I sit in here with.
Keepers.
Wait,
Yeah, definitely
so I
keepers.
misspoke about Henry Fielding. He wasn't a PI, he was a magistrate, and he was given funding to start one of London's first um like investigative police forces.
Wow.
So yeah. So yeah,
All right,
basically he is the detective in the story, sort of. So
sure.
it's anyway.
I
It's
like it. Sounds good. All right, Tom. What else you got for
Okay,
us?
so then I have out new in paper. So The History of Sound by Ben Shattuck, which was from last summer. Now it's just out in paper. I think maybe tomorrow.
Okay.
And it's just one of those, books deserve like this is why we do the way we publish. Sometimes we publish books in hardcover and then we publish them in paper. And sometimes, many times, we need the books. We do it because we want the books to be discovered in the second format because this is a book that got a lot of attention. It got incredible reviews, but just not as much as it should have, as far as I'm concerned. And so I think in paperback it will find a whole new audience. Um, and we've talked on this tea time so many times about how much we all like short stories, and but I don't get to talk about them that much, or I don't. Yeah, I just feel like I don't. Um, so this is a collection of 12 stories, but they bounce off they resonate with each other. They bounce off each other in interesting, surprising ways. This is a book that would reward, and I'm sort of thinking about it, reward a second reading because you
Mm.
finish them and you think, and you've seen some of them, paired stories that someone a generation
Nope.
later. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. Um, there'll be a story, and then a generation later, you'll see that they'll be in the same house where the characters from that earlier story were. So he's playing with time and play. It's all set in New England. Um, he's a beautiful writer that I know we'll hear a lot more from. And so start with the history of sound. And I know that Warwick's in particular, there was one of maybe, I don't know if Nancy Warwick fell in love with it, but
Yes.
okay. Because Warwick's has sold a larger than its fair share of History of Sound, so it's great to have it in paper. Also, it's going to be a big prestige movie in the fall. It'll be Josh O'Connor and uh, Paul Mescal, so two
Oh.
young, hot um, actors. I think both one's British, one's Irish, maybe something like that. Um, and they are in the title story. The movie is called The History of Sound, so it's the title story, and it is a little bit like modern, although it's set in the past, a new kind of retelling of a Brokeback Mountain kind of story.
Okay.
That's the kind of
Okay.
story it
Well,
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
because
Uh,
that's sort of the whole sound thing. I mean, that's sort of where,
yeah. Yeah.
it is. And it's and the first and last stories specifically.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, we all loved, and Beth too. Beth, that was the first book she read this year. It's still probably her favorite of the year. It's
That's
so
really
good.
good.
It was
Yeah.
I read it for our book club, and we all loved it. It's
Yeah.
just
And
because
it
it's
isn't,
like you said, the stories. It's like I'm not a big short story reader, but they're just so beautiful,
yeah,
and the writing is just incredible.
everyone is more beautiful than the one
Yeah,
before.
it really is. I'm glad it's in paperback. We'll get a
Yeah.
whole new life there. Amanda, you got anything else for us?
Sure. I talked about this one in hardcover, but I'm going to talk about it again because I don't think
Well, Tom just did too, so that's
Yep,
okay.
yep. It's Nicked by M.T. Anderson, and I guess I should try to show that. Can you show the cover, Julie?
Yeah, let me see. Who is it now?
Nicked by M.T. Anderson,
Okay, let me find it.
out in paperback. It comes
Okay.
out in paperback, I believe next Tuesday.
Okay.
And M.T. Anderson is known for his young adult books. So he was a National Book Award finalist and uh, New York Times bestselling author of Feed, which is a huge teen book. Also the Astonishing Life of Octavian Nothing, um, are I'd say his biggest young adult books. But this book is very much for grown-ups, and it takes place in the year 1087, and there is a plague sweeping Italy, and a monk has this vision, uh, which he interprets as a call to serve, to minister to the sick. But his superiors in the church decide, no, actually, this means you have to go rescue this holy relic. You have to go out on this journey and rescue this relic. Um, their intentions might not be really in the service of the Lord, but and so he ends up teaming up with a treasure hunter, and it's a heist. It's a medieval heist. It's very funny, very bizarre, very sly and sweet. Um, Kelly Link, author of the Book of Love, says miracles, marvels, saints, sinners, love, plague, and treachery. A medieval feast of a novel stuffed with everything I could have wished for. It was an indie next book, and
It's going to be in the paperback. It's going to be in Indie next too.
yeah, next week it's out. It's super fun. Nicked.
You had me at medieval heist.
It's
That's so good.
it's it's funny. I found myself reading several books recently about medieval relics. Like I read, we hosted the author of a book called The Stone Witch of Florence, and it
Mhm.
was also in that vein. It was very good. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a
Well,
thing.
there's one coming out in again December called Canticle.
Canticle. I'm reading that one right now too. It's
So
really
good.
good.
It's
Yeah,
so
I was thinking about mentioning it today, but I thought I should wait.
it's
Yeah,
too I've done
Don't wait,
enough
it's
of
never too early.
yeah,
it's
but
very
I
good.
it's really good. I know that Andrea will be talking about it. It's another Spiegel and Grau. So Culpability, the publisher of Culpability, is Canticle. Oh yeah, if you
Well,
like that
and
medieval stuff. And here's what I love about it. I love because she is a historian, I believe. She didn't. What drives me a little crazy sometimes with female characters that they put back in historical times, they in the context of that history, they sometimes have these women doing things that they probably couldn't have done
Mhm.
easily in that time period. Um, It's none of that happens in this. So that usually zaps me out of a story. It's like, okay, she ain't doing that in that time period. Sorry. I know we all want to think that they were, strong and feminists and and they, not to say they weren't doing hard things, but they're just certain things that they sometimes they wouldn't be able to do. This is like, I think, spot on the historical context. So
Well, and this is that I went to get my copy of Instance of the Finger Post,
there you go.
which is
Nice.
and I'm sure the paperback looks just like this because
It
it's
does.
iconic. I
Yeah.
mean, the best cover.
But it
Um,
also
1997.
but it also looks like this cover too.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, well, I
There it
guess
is.
good ideas. There's never,
You're right.
borrowing
Exactly.
from the best. Um, but it was 1997, I think.
97.
Maybe in England, 97. But also, so there's quotes. I love PD, like People That Are Gone, PD James, a fictional tour de force which combines erudition with mystery. And they all the quotes compare it to Umberto Eco.
Okay.
Uh, and then to bring it all back around, the editors, I don't remember which one it was, but Spiegel and Grau, um, Julie Grau, Cindy Spiegel were running Riverhead when we published this book. So it's a Spiegel and Grau book
Oh my
from
God,
back in
that's
the day.
crazy.
Yeah,
But I
Wait,
mean, that
what?
shows you.
because Spiegel and Grau, those two now iconic publishers, they ran Riverhead back then, and
And Instance at the Finger Post is a Riverhead book?
yeah, yeah.
Gosh, I had no idea.
Yeah,
Crazy.
from like I said, 97.
Wow. Well, that shows you the eye that those two publishers
Yeah,
have,
exactly. And
and
they
they're
they
bringing
still got it.
you right, and they're bringing you books like Culpability and Canticle and things that we might be talking about in 30 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Right.
Whoa.
I'll be doing tea time when I'm in my 90s. Okay, everybody.
Remember Spiegel and Grau. Yes.
Remember Stealing Ground? Oh my God. Okay, Tom, do you have one final one you want to talk about? You got anything else?
Well, let me go get it. I have it.
Okay.
And I
All right.
haven't, I've only read some of it, but like this is, hold on.
Okay. All
It's
right.
okay.
Now you got us. Now you
Want to
got us.
want to mention a couple of events real quick? We've got some good virtual events coming up. I'll put them in tea time, the
Put them in
email.
tea time, but we have Rachel Joyce coming up on
Yes.
Saturday. So
Mhm.
Rachel Joyce, if you liked Pilgrimage of Harold Fry, which I loved. A lot of people like her other book, The Music Shop, which is good, but I mean, I loved Harold Fry. But she will be with us on Saturday because she lives in England. So we do those on Saturdays at 10. So that'll be in the newsletter to hook up if you want to watch that. Hearing things first from Julie at 90. I'm not sure you want my advice at 90. if I imagine myself, I consider myself a little bit of a curmudgeon. I know you probably don't believe that. I can't even imagine what I'm going to be like when I'm 90.
You're right. But now we're all imagining you
Oh,
30 years from now.
oh my God. It's like, oh God, help the world.
Well, I'm imagining all of us still doing tea time.
Exactly. We're going to do it. Let's go. Goals.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a book we didn't have anything to read. We didn't have arcs to read early, so I've been reading it since I got the hardcover. But it's called The Aviator and the Showman. Amelia Earhart, George Putnam, and the Marriage That Made an American Icon. So this is a really carefully reported. I think she's a historian, but popular, but very, doesn't write like a historian. It's very readable. There was a big excerpt in the New Yorker a few weeks ago that caused a lot of conversation because as much as Amelia Earhart is famous, we don't really know that much about her. And she was I guess I thought I did, but reading this, I really didn't. And so George Palmer Putnam was, so one of the publishers I sell is G.P. Putnam and Sons. He was one of the sons. And he was the kind of publisher impresario who was her husband, but also pushed her to do things she probably wasn't prepared to do. But like and it all came, I think it was, time when Charles Lindbergh is flying making those flights. And he was the publisher of Charles Lindbergh, and they sold a lot of books. And he's always looking to, he's kind of seems like a P.T. Barnum kind of character who's like, how do I sell more books? And my wife, I need a woman Lindbergh, and this woman seems like the right person.
Wow.
But in truth, from what I've read and I've heard the author talk about it a little bit, she was not the greatest aviator in the world. Like that's it's no insult to say that people there were great women aviators and they were all like, what
Pearl
is she
Markham?
doing? What is she doing? No, she shouldn't do that. Um, so she's debunking a lot of myths, and it's just a fascinating history of that time. And these two, especially these two characters, and he went on to move to Los Angeles, and which I had no idea about, and get married more times. He was not the greatest man in the world, I would say, but fun.
Opportunistic, maybe?
Oh yeah, but super fun to read about. So I think so. We have quotes from all the best people like Candace Millard. David Grand says Lori Gwen Shapiro has dug deep into the archives and emerged with an exhilarating tale of the adventurous life of Amelia Earhart and the remarkable relationship that helped to forge her legend. Yet Shapiro goes even further, stripping away the myths and revealing something far more profound and intricate and true. It's one terrific book. So I think if you like David Grann, any just good American history, and it is just interesting to me that Amelia Earhart, the legend, lives on generation after generation. I think
Right.
because we've never found the plane, we've never found her.
But I'm
So
wondering if maybe he did and he didn't tell anybody.
yes, you never know. You
That
never know.
builds the legend.
Yes, exactly. Wow. I don't think Lori Gwen Shapiro thought of that.
That's the conspiracy I'm going with.
Well, and she does talk about like there are people who make a living still selling their version of the Amelia Earhart story. So Julie, the field is wide open. Uh,
I'm just saying.
right. But she's here to as get as close to the human being as we can and discard the crackpot theories. So
Well, but also, but
it's
what
really
also is
interesting.
interesting is that somebody could maintain being that legend when they weren't the aviator that
I
they
know.
claimed to be.
Well, I mean, that was shocking to me.
Right.
Like
Right. Because you think that
got
Amelia Earhart, she must have been the top of the
right,
top.
right. Well, and in the interview I heard, now again, I haven't read the whole book yet, but she made it sound like Amelia Earhart was like not good at like directions. Like,
Oh,
so yeah.
okay.
Well, we'll all have to read the book and see.
I
But
tried to think you brought this up because a customer came in and talked to us about this book. And so
uh,
it's getting
yeah,
some
yeah,
stuff out there.
right.
There's definitely some stuff happening about this book out there. I like my theory.
Well, and I do too, Julie, of course. Sure. Um, but also there's also publishing stuff in here, so I love that. I mean,
Right.
it's publishing like I don't know it. Like this is not the publishing I know, but
Right.
still interesting.
Right. Well, the things that were
And
happening.
especially since I still sell G.P. Putnam's
Right.
son's book. That publisher still exists within
Yeah.
Penguin Random House.
So
Um,
this is out
Fascinating.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Out
it's out
tomorrow?
tomorrow?
that's out tomorrow. That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
I
think
think
it'll be
it's
a
going to be
great for anyone who loves history and if you're fascinated at all by Amelia Earhart, you got to read this
right.
book.
Right. Oh, I love it.
Good
All
one.
right. That was really fun.
It
We had some
was
good. So we went
always.
back in time a little bit. We went way forward a little bit, and we got stuff that's coming like right now.
And we went way back in time to
I know,
the
Amelia
Amelia
Earhart.
Earhart time
Yeah.
and
Thanks, Beth.
publishing.
It was fun. We got some good recs for everybody. I was gonna try to recommend a book, but I think I think I've talked about it on here before. It's not published anymore because we were going back in time and it reminded me of The Bells by Richard Harvell, which is
Oh,
reminding me of perfume. Susskind.
oh yeah.
Suskind's perfume is about the sense of scent or smell. And Bell's is about the sense of hearing, and it's like so good. But I think it's
Uh,
out of print. I think it's out of print. Sorry.
Hmm.
But we do have some good events. Amanda will be putting some in the tea time email tomorrow. Don't forget about Liz Gilbert. And if you're in San Diego, sign up for that. And we have Rachel Joyce on Zoom on Saturday. So, oh, you found it?
well, I'm just putting it there. I mean, it's on our website, but it might be one that people.
Yeah.
Who-
If it says call and ask for a price. Oh,
Yeah.
very good. I'm glad you're coming to see Joe. Yay. I will
Oh,
probably see you at the luncheon, I'm assuming.
that's great.
Yeah, Joe Piazza will be at the store on Friday, and we're doing a luncheon with her on Friday as well. Got Meg Waite Clayton doing a luncheon with her. Her new book, the
Typewriter, typewriter beach.
Typewriter Beach, which was that's another really good set back in the 50s, old movies. That's a really good one. She writes a really good historical fiction, so love Meg. So yeah, good stuff happening this week. And wait till the fall. Just probably stop talking to me probably from like September to November.
Maybe even December.
Yeah, just so like the
by
beginning.
December you'll be wrung out and
Yeah. I'll be looking for a couple weeks off, but I think November. I already told the staff. I was like, "You're all gonna hate me in October." October. I mean, it's
October.
really October.
October is wild.
It's wild.
Oh, that's
It's
fantastic.
really, really good stuff. But holy moly, holy moly! All right, everybody, some great books. Happy reading. Read, stay safe, stay sane,
Mhm.
and as I always end these days, call your representative. So there you go. All right, everybody.
Nice.
Bye.